Hello and welcome back to Bluebird Lane Creations. My name's Tiffany and it's time to get creative. I thank you guys so much for joining me today. I am going to be working on a little challenge. I am friends with Tania from Tatty Treasure on YouTube, and Tania runs a Facebook group called Tatty Treasure and Friends, and we have been in the group. There's a monthly challenge just to, participate and just kind of I think it helps people stay inspired to keep working if they're maybe lacking some inspiration. It gives you a prompt. It's kind of a direction. So last month we finished the unfinished. We got done some projects that have been sitting around not getting finished. This month our host is going to be Denise from Junk Journal Denise Junk Journal UK, and I'll link her information. I'm going to link everybody's information below that's going to be participating in the challenge as part of the admins and moderators. The idea for this month, the theme, is to get it out and dust it off. Look in those nooks and crannies, pull out the drawers, dig through your totes, whatever you need to do. Get it out and let's use it this month. So what we're going to do is, during the month of February, you want to finish a minimum of 4 projects. They can be big, small, mixture of big and small, whatever you want to do. And it's just to kind of use items that are getting dusty. Things, maybe you bought it and you've never used it. I do that all the time. I just found out that I had some items that had mold in them and they got thrown away. So anyway, this started on Monday, February 7th, and Denise had a intro video that day, and we'll be posting videos or pictures in that thread. So you'll find that and you'll post either your video or just a photo of your project. And it's going to end on Saturday, March 5th. Now, there will be a giveaway winner announced on Monday, the 7th of March by Tania at Tatty Treasure. She's going to be doing a drawing out of her little teapot, and she will have a prize for the winner. So this is really just a fun thing and way to participate in the group and get to know people and see different styles. So with that being said, we're just going to jump on in. I come from a card making background, and now switching into junk journals, I have a ton of supplies that are just kind of sitting there waiting for me to figure out how to use them in junk journaling. I get a lot of things on sale. You're going to notice, like, I have some dies. I put them on these magnetic sheets. I have some dies. They haven't even been cut apart. Like, I bought them and I've never used them. They're sitting there just waiting for an idea or project. I have used this it might have been last Valentine's Day, to make a couple cards. So I've used this die one time. And then I have a couple paper pads that I picked up along the way. I'm sure I got them on clearance or on sale somewhere. One of them is by Dress My Craft, and it's called the Be Mine Collection. This is just a 6x6. Now this one is just single-sided, and I'll just do a real quick flip through because these papers are really beautiful. Very vintage feel. I'm a sucker. I am a sucker for polka dots. You can send me anything with polka dots and I'm gonna just drool over it. Anyway, there's a collection of hearts and love and flowers and just everything romantic. Look at this script that's like in this gold, so pretty. Okay, so we've got this paper, which I think there's a few in here that would look really good in a junk journal. And then I've got this one. This one's a little more cutesy, a little more pinks and reds. This one is by Simple Stories. This is a 6x8 paper pad, so you're going to get a little bit more I don't think that's 2 inches, but whatever. Okay, 6 by 8. These are 24 papers, but these ones are double-sided. And these are very, very cute. So these are cut-aparts. If you don't know what these are called, they're called cut-aparts. You cut them apart, and then you can make pockets, or you can use them as ephemera. I'm just going to do a real quick flip through. There's some, vintage feels to this paper for sure. So we're going to be using this paper from, I haven't even decided yet. So we're just going to dig in here and pick something. This one duplicates halfway through. So, okay, let me think what I want to do first. So what I was thinking is I'm going to take this die and I'm going to create a pocket, and on the front I'm going to put this heart, but this line right here, I'm going to glue down my parts, but on the bottom section, everything under this line, I'm just going to glue the edging so that I can put stuff in. So I'm going to create a pocket on top of my pocket with this. I have something else in mind for this, this word love. It's backwards right now because it's on the sheet, but I have a use for that I'm going to see if we can come up with depending on time. So let's just get into this. Let me think here. I was thinking when my husband was up here earlier and he said I should use, where was it? I think it was black with hearts. Let me see here. Let me see if I can find it, because I told him I'm going to use it. So it might have been that polka dot one. Okay. I think, yeah, so we will use this polka dot paper for our background of our pocket. Let's see, I'm just trying to think here. I might have to, pardon my reach, I'm going to be getting out my black soot because we might want to do some edging, especially if we end up cutting. So then for our heart on top of that, what do I want to do here? Let's see, maybe we can use, oops, my cover came off. It's okay. Let's see. My eyes are going like this. I'm looking for something that I feel really grabs my attention. I don't know if that's dark enough. I just want a little more contrast. So I think I am going with this top paper here. So those are that's going to be my choice on that one. And I'm just going to set that aside. And then with the little, with the word love, I have an idea. Bear with me here. I think I'm going to use that. In my mind, I'm just trying to think what I'm actually doing here, and I may change my mind. I am going to change my mind. Instead of the plaid, I'm going to do a little bit softer, because I'm trying to think, like, these are going to go in junk journals for, I mean, I know that they can be all sorts of different styles, but I'm trying to envision something here. You know, in my journals, I'm trying to envision what my use for this might be. So just trying to think it through. Okay, maybe. Okay, I'm gonna leave those three out. I haven't decided yet, but we need to get moving along. So we're just gonna leave that be. Now I'm gonna bring my little cutter out here. And we're gonna trim down this piece of paper. I'm gonna make a little, this is just gonna be a square pocket. So we'll say, okay, we're gonna do 4.5 inches by, let's see what we wanna do here. How big is my heart? My heart, get it out of here. Let's see, that's the 6 mark. So my heart's about 3 inches. So I think if we go 3.5, let's do 3 3/4 inch. That would give us a nice space. And if we wanted to ever decorate more on that, we could. So let's do that. And then to decide what part of this I want. I think I'm going to pick up some of the polka dot. Maybe we also want a little of the pink. So I want the script. I think I'm going to get this piece up here. So I'm just going to trim off this top portion here where the hang. Now I'm going to keep this because I will use, you know, the excess of this in collaging. So I'll just throw it to the side. Let's see, my heart is going to be about there. So we'll just take that and we'll leave that. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and cut it this way too. That way it's all ready to fit in our little die cut machine. Okay. Oh, my throat's been a little dry today. Bear with me. All right. So I'm just going to, let's see, a couple things. I'm going to get my, I should have been just a tad more prepared. Where are my items? Okay, get my little blending tool here because I'm gonna take the black soot, and because this is a little bit distressed over here, I want to do a couple things. I am gonna rough up the edges a little, not over my ink pad probably, but I just want these edges to be a little less neat. So there are tools that do this. Because I don't have that tool right now, I'm just going to use my scissors. Be very careful, don't cut yourself. I've been doing this a long time. If it tears, I'm fine with that. That just gives it more of the look. So just going around with my scissors and taking that flat edge, and I'm just distressing it a bit, giving it a little bit of texture. Okay, that'll work. Now, I'm going to take just a hair. This is going to be pretty dark, so I'm just going to start really light and see how this black over here, we're just going to bring a little of it in on this side as well. And I'm just going to take it around and touch these white edges with the blending tool just to take that stark white away and continue with the theme of this kind of black distressed look. All right, looks good. I'll set that guy aside. Now I'm just going to set this guy over here for a minute. Now I don't want this to move, so I am going to get just a tiny piece. I have this piece of Post-it tape I used the other day for covering somebody's address. So I'm just going to utilize this to hold my heart in place. And I'm only really taping it because I want to make sure I get the words somewhat straight here. So we'll just tape that there and over here. And I'll just bring my machine in. I'll lock it down this time. Last time I did this with you guys, I didn't lock it, and just kind of made a lot of noise. So I just have this little tiny one. I have 3 sizes of die cutting machines because I did make cards. I have a lot of different size dies that I use. I'm going to run this guy through here. Now, it's going to cut this heart there's going to be a lot of little pieces. So I'm going to hold that still for just a moment while I set this aside. And what I'm going to end up doing is getting a piece of scrap paper, and I want something, not that, let's see. I want something that's a little bit thicker so that it can hold the heart structure for me. Let's see. All I have is cool paper, and I don't want to waste my cool paper. Oh, okay. I have a bit of envelope here. So I'll just use some of this. I'm going to end up cutting around the heart anyway, so all right. Now, I just need to think about this for a minute. I'm going to use this as a guide, and I just want to put this back together so that I can visualize something, because I haven't really thought this through totally. What's wrong here? Okay. There's that. Then we've got our big piece here. Sometimes it's hard to figure these things out. Okay. And the reason that I'm taking the time to piece this back together is so I can try to visualize how I'm going to stick this down and leave my open pocket. And I think what's going to happen is I'm going to just use my X-Acto knife when I'm done and cut the slit back open. So yeah, okay. So it won't really matter, except I just want to make sure to have the order here. So I'm going to take my art glitter glue because that'll really get this good and stuck down. And I'm just going to glue each of these pieces down. I'm just going to start with that. Once we get this piece, all of the others will just line up with it. Now, I could, I could cut another heart out and replace, like if I wanted a really bold difference, I could take something with a red and replace like one strip of this heart, and I've done that before. But on this one, I think I'm just really wanting the heart with all these little lines in it. So bear with me here while I piece this little puzzle together. And I'm just going to make sure my lines are good and lined up so that it's not too wonky. I'm just telling you right now, it's not going to be perfect, but we'll do the best we can. So I'm utilizing this paper to stick it to so that when I use my X-Acto knife and cut that slit back open, it will then create a singular piece that I can stick down on the front of my pocket. And you'll see what I mean here in just a moment. I encourage you guys to look at your stamps and any dies that you have, or even if you're looking to buy something but you're just not sure. Jennifer McGuire is a card maker that she's like the cream of the crop card maker. And one thing that she has said that makes complete sense is if you look at something to buy, you need to be able to think of at least 5 different ways right off the hop, 5 different ways that you could think of to use that item. If you can't think of 5, don't buy it right now. They've got every single site that I know of that you can buy stuff from. You can save things to your, like, to a favorites or to a list to come back to. So, you know, do that. Utilize that tool and just wait. And if you can't get it off your mind, or you, you know, come up with the 5 ways to use it, then go back to it and pick up the item. But don't like go out and buy this particular heart just because I'm using this particular heart. I fell into that trap. My husband's like, yeah, she sure did. I fell into that trap. I bought stuff all the time because I wanted all of the brand new, newest tools, newest thing. And then what would happen is I have a whole bunch of stuff that never gets used, like that other die that we have that I haven't even cut it apart yet, you know, so don't be me. I'm trying to change. That was actually one of the reasons that I moved to junk journaling, because I felt like I didn't have to purchase a lot of stuff. The whole idea is to use, you know, items around you that you pull inspiration from. So I'm going to go ahead and use this black soot distress ink. This is distress oxide actually. And I'm going to get the edge of this heart just so that it matches our project here. And there was that cream colored paper underneath. And so I'm just trying to get that to be in solidarity with the rest of this thing. Okay. Now, what do I have that I can cut on? Where's my little, I have a text block here. And I am going to, so the lines that are on this heart, I'm going to utilize one of those lines to create a pocket. I'm not going all the way to the edge because I don't want to separate it, but I'm just going to follow. I should be using a ruler. Let's be honest here. I should be using a ruler because, so see, I've created a little pocket, but my heart is still attached. Okay. So let me set this aside before I end up stabbing myself. My glue's out of control over here. Actually, I might be using that. Okay. Let me set this text block aside. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn my little heart over here. I'm going to glue the entire top portion down. And then on the bottom, I'm just going to go around the edge. So I'm going to go around the edge of this whole thing. And I'm using my art glitter glue because I will have a really good hold going around the whole thing. Now the bottom is done, and I'm going to go on the top of this little line right here all the way across so the top part gets fully stuck down. Okay, and then I'm even going to take my finger and make sure that nothing's getting on the bottom portion. I don't want it to ooze over. I don't want that bottom portion to glue down at all. So, oh, that was awesome. That's why I don't wear my wedding ring, because I probably just got a ton of glue in there. Okay, we're just going to pick somewhere right here and stick this guy down. Okay, now while that's sitting there, I thought I had a little wipe, but let me get this glue off my hands. I usually have a baby wipe for this, but my microfiber is all I had. Let me get these edges. Just going to press down. And then, let's see, what do I have that I can, all I want to do is just kind of test that my pocket is not sealing. So I'm just getting something in there to work around and make sure that that I actually have a pocket. All right. I have, let's see, what do I have? I have some little ephemera bits. Let me just bring this all in here so you can see. I worked with this the other day, and we're going to put, you know, something in this pocket, but I was also thinking that maybe we want a little something on the front. Maybe we don't need anything. Maybe I won't decorate it right now, and I'm just showing you the technique. That's an option as well. So I'm just going to go ahead, since we used, oh, apologize for that. Since we used black soot, I'm just going to continue with that and put some around here. Just getting rid of that white core of the paper. And it's going to tie this in with the rest of my project by giving it all that same edging. So I want to keep the shape of the heart, so I'm using this little, it says sweet, but it's kind of, I can keep the shape of my heart by putting that in there at an angle. So we've still got that. Let's see if we can put, what else do I have here? Oh, this little, can we put a little arrow in there? What if we have it kind of sticking out? It's kind of, it's a little flim-flammy. I don't really want any red. What about this big old, let's see if we can get this in there, what it's going to look like. This is like a little milk tab, except for it's just a paper replica of one. Milk, I don't know what these are. Somebody comment and tell me what these things are called, because I can't remember. Okay, we got that. And what about, just trying to think like what else we could, if we want some. I like to have 3 things typically, so that's an option. Really don't want red with the, got this pink here, and I just I didn't have a lot of little Valentine's items, so what else do I have? I think these things are just really too pink. I mean, we could cut down and make our own. I think I'm just gonna, I'll go ahead and tuck this in there for now. I may change it if I ever, you know, decide to use it in something I'm making for Valentine's Day. I may send this out to somebody as a surprise, you never know. Okay, so we will stick this guy back there, so. All right, so that's, we've got a little pocket we made out of a die that I haven't used in a while, and it's just something, I mean, you could, this doesn't have to be Valentine's, that's the theme here, but then, you know, when I go put that in my journal, let's use a lighter color page, I go put that in my journal, you know, I can glue down on 3 sides and still have another large, you know, pocket here to tuck a tag in, or to tuck some more ephemera, whatever we want to put in there. So now I just have this on hand, or to send out to someone, you know, as a little random act of kindness. So, okay, we're at about 28 minutes. Do we think that I can do my other one really quick? I think we can. So I'm going to set this aside for just a second. Let's get, we're going to do a real quick cleanup job here. Tuck that away, throw that to the side, throw that to the side. We're going to set all my little ephemera pieces to the side. Let's get this out. Now I got to cut this apart still. This is not meant to be one whole thing that just comes like this. And I have some little snips, and I just snip the metal bits apart. So I'm just getting my little love. And we'll put the rest of these back for, looks like Christmas. All right. I'll set that aside, put my snips away. Now what I wanted to do here, and I think I'm going to use this because I think this one's just a little too busy for what I want to do here. So bear with me. I know I haven't explained my vision here very well, but it'll all come to fruition. So I'm going to make 2 papers the exact same size. And I think we're going to we'll do about the same. So we'll do a 4 what do we do, 4.5 inch on the height, and 3.25. I'm sorry, we did 3 3/4 inch on the width. Okay, I'll set these aside, and let's see here. I'm trying to think. I am gonna need my larger die cut machine, even though it's a tiny die. Okay, we're gonna have to pull my other plates out. There might be just a little bit of noise here as I bang things around. And let me put the pin back in my glue. All right, pardon my reaching. I gotta get this heavy machinery out. And I'm just gonna get that open. Now I use, I have one plate that I use for cutting that I put on the bottom. This just helps if there's any give like this. So this was a tip that I had received, I believe from Jennifer McGuire. If you have a little gap and there's room to press this, then you want to flip it, okay? So I am going to take my one pink paper here with the flowers and my little love die, and I'm just going to figure out, now this is going to be my pocket, so I am trying to somewhat get this centered, and I'm just putting it at the bottom here, and we're just doing our best. Okay, stick that down, put the other plate on, and let's run it through. This is my Spellbinders Platinum 6. Let's hear those beautiful cracking noises. And I'm just going to send it back through my way just for the convenience of not having to pull it out the other end there. All right, let's set that aside. We've got a little piece there. Okay, let me get these plates out of the way and tuck this to the side. I was hoping I was just going to be using my little die cut machine, but it is what it is. Okay. Now I'm going to remove this tape here. It's wanting to really stick to that paper, so I'm going to go really slow. Just don't want to tear any of the paper. If you ever have something that you're trying to remove and you don't want it to tear and it's stuck down, don't try to tear up. Tear against itself as close to the sticker as possible, and that's going to be your best bet. Okay. We're going to save all of our little pieces. And there's our heart. Okay, let me tuck the die to the side here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting this pocket on top, but I am going to glue here. So there will be a pocket, but it won't quite go to the bottom. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over, get my glue open here. And we're using the negative. I'm not using the letters just yet, although we could do that on a different project. We're not using it on this. And I'm going to be gluing just on 3 sides here. So I'm going to start over here and just glue right down the side. Right down this will be the bottom. And this side as well. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line right above my letters to create the actual bottom of mine. Then I'm going to kind of go around these letters, and I'm just kind of dragging my glue. I'm not really trying to put too much extra, just dragging it around because what I want is for all these letters to seal down really well, and then we'll get a little glue into this negative space. Then I'm going to just match that up with my other paper that we cut down to the same size. All right. Get that good and stuck on all the edges, and I'm pressing where the letters are. Okay. Now I did save this little heart because now I'm going to put this in here for just a moment. Let me make sure these are good and stuck. I'm going to show you a little trick. If you ever have a centerpiece like this, you can put this negative, or I'm sorry, this is the positive piece, and put it in there where you want it. I apologize, I don't want it to stick down crooked. So I'm not sticking this in there, I'm using it as a template, and I'm going to get my little heart. I'm going to get my little heart piece here and get a little glue on that. Now I don't want this glue oozing, so I'm going to touch it on my finger, and then I'm going to lay it in this spot. And then before anything really glues into place, I'm going to move this piece and then just stick that down really well. Okay, so then we have our little love at the bottom of our pocket. I'm going to get my glue closed up here. Now I'm going to, I think my glue is dry enough to where I'm going to distress my edges just a little bit here. This one I'm not going to do quite as much as I did with the other. I just want a soft look to the edge. So this doesn't have to be super tattered, but just a real soft look. And again on the top, oh, sorry about that. Just going slow. Sometimes when the glue is not dry all the way, it makes it soft. So I'm doing this now because we're filming, but if we weren't filming, I would let this dry for a little bit before distressing the edges. That's why I'm just going really slow. Okay. Now I'm going to take, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to go in with the vintage photo. I am, just because it's here and it's handy. I mean, you could use, gosh, I've got like the pumice stone, which is a light gray. I've got speckled egg, which would look wonderful. But I do plan, I mean, if I did anything, I would be using this in a journal that would have, you know, the vintage photo distressing. So, and since this piece is likely for me to use in a project, I'm just going to make it my own. All right. Getting those edges. See right here, I just want this a little bit more so that that paper really picks up the ink, especially where I distressed it with the scissors, because that white core is exposed texturally. It's really visible. So, and then this is going to be the top of the pocket, so I definitely want that done. All right, we'll set that guy aside. Now, actually, sorry, we're redirecting here. No, that's not. Darn, let me think here. I have a, bear with me. I apparently put my circle punch, and I'm having to go around. I have a leaking skylight in my craft room. And it's been a fiasco to get fixed because I have a metal roof, and apparently nobody wants to. It's not just like a corrugated metal roof. It's like architectural metal shingles. Who knew? But nobody wants to touch it. So we are still in the midst of trying to find help. Okay, I'm gonna notch this. I think right there. Go back in here with my scissors. Now, this is not glued together, and we got to fix that because the intention is not to get into this. Well, this could be, okay, let me think here. I think I did this with the intention of it being a pocket. I should have just notched the front. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to glue this closed because I won't use this as a double pocket. So I'm just going to separate this and get a little glue in and just close this up. Okay, that way when we glue it down to whatever we use it on, it'll create a pocket. If I had been thinking, I would have just notched the front, and then I would have had this this blue in the back. That would have been perfect, but you know, we make errors and then we make the errors work. So that's what happened today. And I have more of this paper so I can do it differently next time. All right. And just going to put my pin back in my glue. It's like on this one, I could do a little notch here too. Don't want to nick my ephemera. All right. And we'll get that guy inked right there. Okay, so that is this pocket as well. Let me show you. If you had a page like this, you know, you could just put it on like that. And it has that word love, and it's very soft. You know, you could, if you wanted to, you know, soften it up a bit, you could lay some lace underneath before you glue down the pocket, and really make that very shabby chic looking. Look at how cute that looks with the lace. So many options for things that we have in our stash. This is just a quick example of how to use something from my card making days, and you know, make it work for junk journaling. And I'm going to try as much as I can to utilize those things. If I don't start using them, then I'm just gonna, you know, sell them or get rid of them or whatever, because there's no point in it taking up room in my craft space if it's not something that makes me happy that I'm going to use. So, all right, these are our little pockets for today. Just lay them out there so you could see them. Let's see, I like this side better. Yeah, that's what we have. I'm going to cut this lace down because I like it. I should be wrapping up, but I just, you know, you get in the craft mood and you just can't stop. Okay, I'm going to stop though because we're at 42 minutes. Just going to put a little bit of, this is Fabri-Tac, and I just want to put a little on the back of this so that I can put this lace on here. Thanks for indulging me for this extra couple minutes while I dilly-dally. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much. Look forward this week to potentially another giveaway on my channel, because we are, boy, I literally today just mailed the giveaway package to the winner of my 300 subscriber giveaway. Before I even made the selection, which I left it up for 1 week. We had hit 300 and I left it up for a week. And before I even made the selection, I was already to over 600. As of right now, and I had planned to do another giveaway at 500. So as of right now, we have, I think I'm at 740, around 740. So I do plan to do a giveaway here soon. I'm thinking it's going to be, let me think here, what do I have coming up? I have a little, I have a Valentine's special I'm going to do tomorrow. So look for my Valentine's special that I'll be posting tomorrow, which will be Saturday. And I may just announce something fun there that would include everybody, no matter where you are. So stay tuned for that. I'd love to have you join me. And thank you for coming on my crafty adventure today. I'd appreciate it if you subscribed. I'd love it if you hit that like button. And I adore comments. I try to respond to every single person. And let's start a little conversation and get to know each other. Thank you so much. You have a good evening.